I'm Doug from Global West. Thought I'd take a minute here to talk to you about these control arms that we have here on the table. These happen to be for 1970 through 81 Camaro and Firebird. This is a street version for coilover. It's a CTA 71H. Let me show you something about these control arms. You probably already noticed that they're fully assembled, ready to go. Ball joints, snubber, comes complete with the end-link kit for attaching your sway bar. And of course right here we've got our Del-A-Lum bushings. Now if you're familiar with our Del-A-Lum bushings, they work on a 6-surface design. They have an inner rotating sleeve separate from inner and outer thrust washers. And what that does is when this is all torqued together, this allows this bushing to move freely straight up and down. So the arm pivots very nice. It's almost like having a bearing in your system, in the suspension. And these here, these steel pins, now the reason why you're going to get a set of these in this particular kit is because from 1970 through 81, there actually was 2 different frames. 70 through 73 takes 1/2-inch bolts in their lower control arm. And in 1974 through 81, they went to a 9/16. The length of the control arms, the design of the control arm, pretty much everything about it is all the same. The only thing that changed was the bolts. So in the kit, you're going to have 4 dowels here, pins. 9/16 happen to be in here. These are going to be 1/2-inch. If you have a 70 through 73 frame, which takes the 1/2-inch, all you do is you push these out, install the 1/2-inch pins, and you're good to go. So you're going to have 4 extra pins in this particular kit. It's going to happen, okay? Depends on which frame you've got. Now the way the coilover, this happens to be for a coilover. We have a coilover shock here. And the coilover shock, let me tilt this up a little bit here. You can see down in this area here where we actually built, instead of on a stock control arm, where you have a small area where the shock actually is going to attach to, for the coilover. What we've got here is we've got a plate that's in here and a doubler plate. And what that's going to do is when you put your shock in here, like so, okay, the shock is going to bolt on the top of the lower control arm. By running doubler plates and what have you here, it allows us to carry the load of the vehicle. It makes it very strong because all the load is going through here into that small area. And we want to have that capable of handling as much load as possible. So these are specifically designed for a coilover application. We recommend these over using a stock lower control arm and putting a coilover to it. It's much better to have something built for the coilover. So the part number for this is a CTA 71H 1970 through 81 Camaro Firebird. It's a direct bolt-on. It's for coilover, and it accepts anybody's coilover. There's no geometry in reference to the lower. We didn't move the ball joint fore or aft, by the way. It's in the standard location. This arm is specifically designed for coilover. Again, CTA 71H, easy bolt-on, very nice setup for a coilover app.